In this session, we're going to learn about how to create new variables in the select clause. Now, this is the result from our previous query in the last session, and we simply selected all the variables from the table paycheck. Now, what if in the next thought process we wanted to look at what are the salary values for these individuals on a monthly basis. Now these salary values are absolutely in terms of say the value is in terms of annual basis, and what if you wanted to look at the individual salary on a monthly basis. So for that kind of a thing, either we can manually calculate and divide these numbers by 12 and create up a new variable which would be presented up over here, or we can go together and use a trick in SQL to achieve the same. Now I would go onto the SQL view and try to edit this query in such a way that we get the correct values of the individual salaries on a monthly basis. So say you only want the first name, comma, the last name of the individual, and the salary value of the individual. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create up a new variable in the select clause which helps us calculate the values of salaries on a monthly basis. So if I write salary divided by 12, so the whole essential purpose of using this designation is that this value is going to return me up a result which is going to tell me what is the value of salary divided by 12, and hopefully I'll get all of these values for all the individuals in my paycheck data set. So let's see, let's try running this query by hitting the run button. So there you go. So you now the next thing that would automatically appear over here is that since we selected only the first name and the last name to appear over here and the salary also, and again we expected a new variable which would be simply salary divided by 2. So in this case, I'm going to drag this thing a bit. You're going to see that I have a new variable which goes by the name of expr1003, and it has the values which corresponds to this value divided by 12, and this goes again for all of the values, all of the rows in this table. So what you're seeing right here is that since in our SQL view we simply wrote salary by 12, this is not such kind of a name which SQL can use. So in the results view you can see that it has given it a very random name, and this name would change on your computer, on my computer, or on the query that you are doing. But this is the biggest achievement out of all this, and we can see that we have the monthly salaries of the individuals given in this table. And if you're going to see the default the default data type for this kind of table has been number, and it has also decimals attached to it. And since this is the maximum space which it can occupy, so these are the maximum number of decimal places that have gone into creating this value, and they are 10 in number. So the reason 10 decimal places does not appear is that this thing was nicely divisible by 12, and the decimal truncated on 0.25 itself. But you would see a similar kind of behavior appearing in this too. Sorry, the number of decimal places, I count them wrong. It's 11 in number, and this goes with all of the results that you would see in your table expressions over here. So let's move one step forward and try to find out a way by which we can give this random name actual name in SQL. So all you need to do for achieving the same is that you need to go on to the SQL view again, and when you write salary by 12, since we know that this is not an acceptable name that SQL can accept, you after this simply write say as, then you type in the name of the variable which you want to give. So I want to give the value of salary by 12 a name of monthly underscore sal, and then when you run this query you're going to see the difference. So there you go. Now we have a new variable which was previously some horrific name by default given in SQL server, in MS Access. So it has now changed its name to monthly underscore sal, and it is nicely understandable, but the values do remain the same. The one thing to be noticed about our query is that uh, the whole of whenever SQL selects some data from a table, it does so for each and every row in the table. So when I selected salary by 12, it is not just going to affect only the first row of the table. It is going to perform that query for each and every row of the table one by one, and it is going to give us a result in this sort. So you're going to see the salary by 12 value was divided one by one in all of the rows, and we've had our results. So this was all about creating new variables in the select clause. Thank you for watching.